In this video, I'm going to show you step-by-step instructions on how to replace the front screen on the Google Pixel 6. To start off the repair, I'm going to place it on the hot mat for about 5 minutes, and this is set to 85 degrees C. You can replicate this with a heat gun or a hairdryer, although the heat mat will distribute heat evenly across the phone. Once it's had 5 minutes on the hot plate, we're going to take a single-sided razor blade and a suction cup, and we're going to attach the suction cup to the bottom, start lifting up on the suction cup whilst we're creating a little gap in between the edge of the screen and the chassis of the phone. If you notice here that you can see there's like a plastic bezel and the screen just there, you need to remove the plastic bezel on this one. Now we'll take a plastic pick and we're going to go in between the chassis and that plastic bezel I was just talking about, and I'm going to run it up the edges like that, then along this bottom edge, and then finally on this right hand edge, and that's just separating the screen from the chassis. Once I've got those 3 edges done, we're just going to get the pick in this top edge and separate the screen until you can open it up just like opening a book. Now that we're inside the phone, we'll take it over to the workbench and start removing the screen. So now we've got the phone open, I'll leave the suction cup on the screen like that, just to act as a prop so that the screen doesn't fall over and put pressure on this cable. And then we're going to use a star-shaped screwdriver. I can't remember what it is. Is it a T2? Yeah. And remove this single screw just here. With that removed, we need to detach this little metal shield here. And the best way to do that is with some tweezers. And you're going to get underneath it until it flicks up like that. And generally that's fixed down, but just as that was springing off, the cable became detached. If it hasn't, then the easiest way to do it is just to lift it up with 2 hands and then pull it apart, and it will separate that flex cable there. Ours is off now though, so we'll just take the screen away. Try and keep hold of that because it is an important little part as well. And then carrying on with the repair, this is literally the easiest screen repair that you'll ever find, but it is important to make sure that you do a nice clean job of these edges. So removing the glue is a very important part of this one. If you can't peel it off with tweezers, then you can use one of these little X-Acto blades. I think it's a number 4 or 4A X-Acto blade. You're just going to run it along the edge to remove all the leftover adhesive from the chassis. Like I say, it's very important to make sure that this is clean because this is the surface that your new screen is going to adhere to. And if it's dirty, greasy or uneven with old adhesive, then it's not going to stick well and the screen is probably going to fall away eventually as well. Now that we've got as much of the adhesive off as we possibly can, then I'm just going to add some isopropyl alcohol on there and rub over it with my little wiry brush thing. It's a horsehair brush, it's not wire. Don't worry, wire will scratch it, so don't use any metal brushes. And if you see any adhesive left over, just make sure you grab it before you go any further with it. I will put a link in the description on where to buy these, but this is a genuine Google Pixel 6 screen. And if we open it up, let me just show you what it comes with. Because I know that some parts are different depending where you buy them from. But this one comes with that plastic frame attached, and also, importantly, the fingerprint sensor, which is just on the bottom there. I'll show you how to recalibrate that one at the end of the video. I would strongly advise using these genuine parts because they're generally faultless. We don't have any problems with them, and like, it comes with the frame and the fingerprint sensor. It's just easier, so much easier. They're just plug and play really. So you can see they're just a like for like screen. The only difference is it's got the new fingerprint sensor on there, which requires recalibration. Another important thing to get, if you can get hold of them, I'll put a link to this as well, is the genuine Google seal. And you just peel the backing sheet off of that, line it up in that top left corner. Make sure that it lines up along this left hand edge as well, because if you line it up there, the rest of it will follow around all the edges. And now you can take the flat edge of your spudger, secure it down and make sure that it's stuck all the way around. Now that that's secured down, we're going to get this edge here and we can start lifting it up, and this is just going to lift the sort of guide sheet, so the very top blue sheet, and it's going to leave behind one more blue film. And I never peel that off until the very last minute, until we're just about to seal the screen down. With the new screen, all that we have to do is offer up the flex cable make sure that it's lined up properly before applying pressure. They're a bit difficult to push in these, so if you use the back edge of your tweezers or spudger, then you'll make sure that it sits down well. If it's not lined up properly, you do run the risk of damaging that FPC connector, so just be careful when lining that up. With that reconnected, it's probably a good time to turn on the device now. As long as we get image, we can see we've got some picture, although it's out of battery, this one. But I'm happy that that one is good. We'll go ahead and re-secure the little clip thing. Line that up there, line it up there, and then apply pressure until it clips into place. Then there was just that one screw. I'm not convinced that this screw actually does anything for this clip, but I always take it out anyway. Somebody in the comments will probably tell me you don't need to. You're probably right. With that re-secured, we can just remove this last piece of blue film, and we're just going to peel it around all the edges. This was stuck down really well on this one, but if you find that it's peeling up when you're lifting it, just take your spudger like that and sort of keep it pushed down whilst you're peeling it back. That weren't a very good example because I'd run out of thing to pull off, but yeah, just pull it like that if it's pulling off. With that removed, we can fold the screen over now. I always start from the top, just habit from doing iPhones for years and years. Secure it at the top and then work your way down, pressing it in until all the screen's in place. That completes the technical part of this one. We just need to recalibrate this fingerprint sensor, where we can come back in a minute once it's got some charge. Right, so it's got a little bit of charge in it now. If you go to the website that I'll link in the description below, pixelrepair.withgoogle.com/UDFPS, it's going to give you the instructions on how to do it. You need to turn off the device first of all. Then, excuse the mess, but you need to plug in the phone to the PC. Right, once you've done that, it tells you to enter fast boot mode, which is very simple. You just press the power button and the down volume button at the same time, and then it goes into this mode. It's called fast boot mode. Really, really easy. When you do this, you need to use a very good cable. I've got a little, I think this is a Samsung cable that I've got, what came with an SSD. That's why it's so short and annoying, but it needs to be a good cable. So we'll leave that just there. Then we'll go to here. We're going to choose connect device. On here, the phone shows up on there. Click it, Pixel 6, press connect, and then we're going to choose install software. It downloads the software, installs it, and restarts the device. It takes seconds, no more than 30 seconds to do, and the device software is successfully installed. That means that once this phone boots up now, the fingerprint sensor will work. You may have to advise your customers to recalibrate their own fingerprint on there, but that's all that needs to be done. That just about completes this repair. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.